Hi everyone, my name's Lorraine and welcome to See Through the Big C. So this is a conversation all about cancer, and I'll be interviewing different people in the community, whether that's people diagnosed with cancer, healthcare professionals, or people caring for somebody with cancer. And I cannot wait to meet so many amazing people. So here we go. Hi Hollie, welcome to See Through this Big C, and I'm really excited to have you as a guest today on our podcast. And it's all about sharing your story for the listeners so that they can really understand different perspectives of what it's like for people who have been diagnosed, treated and post-cancer treatment. So
Amazing.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So how I usually start is by asking anybody who's on the episode, what was your life like before you were diagnosed with cancer?
So I was just very typical mum. So I have three children, three boys. So very much they're 11, 7, 11, 8 and 1 now.
Busy.
So busy, mum, working, just so normal. It was just a complete change of everything that happened. So very normal life before. I worked as a treatment coordinator at a dentist. And pretty standard, to be honest. There wasn't anything that would any indicators that my life would take such a flip.
So you were diagnosed with cancer last year, 2024. So how did you find out about your cancer diagnosis?
So I had my youngest in the January. I had him via C-section, and I had irregular bleeding after, and quite persistently as well. So when I got to my 6-week check, I'd mentioned it to a health visitor on my final check with her. She said, you need to go to your GP and get that looked at. Went to the GP, and there was a lot of back and forth over why I was bleeding. We tried tablets, did an internal ultrasound, and we wasn't really getting to the cause. And it was starting to get a little bit dismissive. And in the end, I was told, you are very hormonal. You've just had a baby. You need to try and get a better night's sleep, go for some walks, and everything should sort itself out.
Wow, that's extreme.
Yes. So, and there was something in me that thought, this is just not right. So I pushed for smear tests, luckily. They're very hesitant about giving my smear tests because my last one was only a year prior.
Because it's usually, 2 years now?
3 years.
Is it 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years at the time. I believe it's actually changed to 5 years.
It's a long, long
so they were very hesitant about doing another smear test so soon. However, I wanted one. I am not fearful of smear testing. So if that could be another tick that we've checked, then perfect. So I went to the GP initially, I believe it was beginning of March. I finally had my smear test in May. So there was a lot of time.
There's a lot of gaps. So from when you first told the doctors about this irregular bleeding until, when was that? So that was
beginning of March time.
So for quite a while you had to wait.
It was. So finally had my smear test, and my results came back HPV positive, which I wasn't surprised at. It's very normal.
So if someone's listening, because a lot of people might not know what is HPV, are you able to explain what that exactly means?
So it's the human papillary virus.
I think, that's how you say.
And HPV is classed as an STI in, its written form. However, I want people to try to see that as it is a common cold for your cervix. I believe it's 8 out of 10 people get that in their lifetime, female and males as well. And it's a class as an STI because it is sexually transmitted between partners. So HPV, once you are infected with it, you will always have it. However, it goes dormant and active throughout your life. Now, what HPV does is it causes your cells to become abnormal. So typically if someone is HPV positive on their smear, you will then be invited for a colposcopy. Now that is essentially still a smear test, but in a deeper form. So it's usually done at the hospital. So I went to my local hospital and I had a colposcopy, so smear test with a camera and the sort of eyes on your cervix. They put a dye on there, they check all the cells. So I had one of them a year prior
Yeah.
to my diagnosis. It was HPV, and I went to colposcopy, had a look at my cells. They had a look and they said everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. We've seen it. So when I had my smear test a year later, it was still HPV positive, which is why I wasn't surprised. Went for a colposcopy, and during my biopsy, which obviously they take a little bit of your cervix tissue to test, I ended up having a post-op hemorrhage. So they couldn't control the bleeding. So it was very scenes out of like 24 hours a day in me. You know, the button was pressed and all the doctors ran in. And I think there I thought, this is not normal. You know, for anyone having a colposcopy,
You would not have that,
you would not have that by any means. So I was packed up and I was wheeled into a ward where I had an overnight stay at ward trying to control the bleeding. I had bleeding after as well, and again, not typical of a colposcopy. You may have a little bit of blood after, but that's all. So I think there was an element in my mind that I thought there's something wrong here. My colposcopy results came back quite quickly. I think it was in a week. And I had a phone call that said, can you come in tomorrow at 9 a.m?
Were you expecting to be diagnosed with cancer?
No. I think there was that element in the back of my head of could it be, but it was so dismissed by, I'm 31. I've just had a baby. My smear was only a year prior.
And that was okay.
That was okay. Everyone will say cervical cancer is a very slow growing cancer. You know, there can't be. There's no way it can be. But when I had that phone call, you need to come in tomorrow at 9 a.m. I thought, that's it. And I turned and said to my partner, it's cancer. I said, no, you know, trying to obviously keep positive. Keep positive. So we went into that appointment. My mum came over to look after my youngest. We went to that appointment, and it was actually in an outpatients, and they took me to go have my height and my weight done. And my partner said, there's no way they're taking your height and weight for a cancer diagnosis.
So you're okay.
You're okay. Like, I think what they're going to do is further surgery because of your bleeding. They wouldn't be interested in that. So, okay.
Kind of relaxed.
Do you know what? That actually makes sense. Why would they need that information for that? And when I walked into the room and I saw the Macmillan nurse,
that's when you knew,
and I knew. And I said to her straight away, I said, it's cancer, isn't it? She said, yes, I'm really sorry. So that was, you know, socks knocked off
of course.
You. But she said, don't worry, we've caught it early. I'm going to put you at stage 1B.
And what does that mean?
That would be hysterectomy.
Okay.
Now, even that conversation was really difficult.
You're 31 years old.
31, and, you know, I'm absolutely blessed with 3 boys. And realistically, would I had another? Maybe not. But when that choice is taken away from you, it's a really difficult thing. No matter how much you think your family is complete, or you think, I actually don't want children, it's still very difficult. And it is also part of like your womanhood. I think people have that association of the two.
Yeah, of course.
So that was very hard to try and get my head round really quickly, and I had to wait. So had 3 months of waiting.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's really long, and it's really difficult going through. Luckily for me, it was Christmas. Had a distraction. I had children.
So they were having a great time.
So it was a distraction, but I went into that new year still not knowing.
Thinking, what's my life going to be like in 2025?
So that was really difficult. I had my first scan. Cancer was still there.
Wow.
Hadn't completely gone. It shrunk, but it's still there. And again, that isn't a positive. And I think people think it is. Well done, it shrunk. Well, I wanted it gone.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want any part of it there.
Not at all.
So that was really difficult. They said, let's give you another 3 months and then we'll wait again. And I thought,
and any treatment or anything in that 3 months? Just left you?
Just left. So I had to wait another 3 months, and I had another scan. And they came back with a scan and said, cancer's gone in your cervix. It's gone in your lymph nodes. Something in your collarbone. I said, right, okay. What do we do now? So they said, let's have some further look at it. We'll biopsy it and we'll have a look. had some further investigations and they put it down to inflammation.
So it wasn't cancer.
So it wasn't. So again, that was...
But even still, you're like, how can it go somewhere else?
That's the thing. I thought, oh my goodness, what now?
Yeah.
What more can I go through after everything? So yeah, and that was very difficult. That waiting period.
It's a long time of waiting.
Yeah, that was from finishing in October. I was finally told cancer-free beginning of July.
Of this year? That's insane.
Of this year.
Yeah.
That's how long the waiting was to hear those words.
I can't even begin to imagine how you felt.
Yeah, it was very difficult. So, and I think as well, people think you click your fingers.
And you just go back to your...
And life's back
to normal. Yeah.
And it's not. And this is my life now. Yeah. I have scans every 4 months.
Yeah.
To check. I'm actually getting my results tomorrow to hopefully still be cancer free.
This is what we want to hear.
Yeah. Every 4 months for the next 2 years, I'll be having scans.
Yeah.
And then the plan will change as we go on.
Yeah.
But as a cancer survivor, you're chasing that 5-year remission.
Yeah.
5 years is so important to people going through cancer because typically, if you can get to 5 years, your chances of your cancer returning are very low. Yeah. So this will be my life now. Yeah. Is being in this fear of what if it's back. And I'm a very positive person. I roll with it. I get on with it.
It's still hard though.
But it's still there.
Yeah.
And I think you hear that cancer free and you're on that high.
Yeah.
And it just comes down as it gets closer to your next scan.
Yeah, because you're worried, like, please.
And your worry starts again. And that's going to be my highs and lows that I have to go through navigating this journey now. That there's no manual.
Yeah,
there's no manual for this.
Yeah, there isn't. There's no information.
No.
And obviously you've had this, and people around you, do they say to you, like, I haven't had my smear test?
Yeah. So
and how did that make you feel?
Yeah, something that was really important to me at the beginning of this is raising awareness. Now, I was 31 at the time. I only had my smear a year prior. I've had my HPV vaccine.
Yeah.
I was a new mum.
Yeah.
I was not your face of cancer.
No.
I was not what people thought would be a cancer patient. So it was very important to me to raise that awareness quite quickly. Yeah. So I straight away made an Instagram. Yeah. And I started posting everything. Everything. I was not fearful or embarrassed of telling my story.
Nothing to be embarrassed about.
No. So I told everything. Every time I was sick, bleeding, upset, on, the biggest high, happy, throwing up in a bucket, I was telling people. Yeah. And I was just trying to raise awareness on this is what cancer can look like, and this is the importance of smear testing.
Yeah, and it's so important.
So important. And I had so many people come forward and say, I've never had my smear test, or I am due mine and I've actually let it go overdue. Yeah. I had so many, and that to me, I've done my job. Yeah. That was so important. And even so, it was friends. It was people I didn't think.
I know loads of people that don't.
That's the thing. And it was, I understand, absolutely. But had I known, some of these people, I would have been pushing for it, regardless if I had cancer or not. So it was really important to me to try raise that awareness.
Yeah, and the fact that you had your checks enabled you to be detected, so that just shows you how important it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think people think smear testing or having your HPV vaccine preventable. You're not going to get it. I've done what I can. I did all that. Yeah. And I still got it. So I think that's the important thing. Don't get lazy with it. Don't think, can't be me. I've done this.
So important.
Health is so important. Some smear tests, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes it actually takes.
Yeah.
10 minutes if you give the appointment time as well. It's so important. Don't get lazy and think that could never be me because I'm X, Y, and Z. Yeah. I have, obviously now, my life sort of revolves around cancer in a way. I've spoken to so many people, vegans, runners, athletes, young people, children, everyone who you would think they could not be touched by cancer. And they are. Yeah. And I think people need to just have that awareness, be conscious of your body, be aware, advocate for yourself as well. Yeah. If you feel like something's off, something's off.
Yeah, go and check your body.
Go and check. You do know.
Yeah.
And have a voice as well.
Yeah.
voice when you think these things are going on with you.
Yeah.
Don't sit in silence and suffer. Because if I did, I don't think I would be here, as dramatic as it sounds. You know, if I left that and sat with, maybe I am just hormonal, and I just need to have a few walks,
exactly,
I probably wouldn't be here being as close to my stage was.
and
that thought's scary.
It is scary, and that's why it's so important. Before we finish though, I wanted to showcase your project that you've been working on as a result of your cancer diagnosis, and something that you've found that actually me going into hospitals I can see would be really beneficial to people. Share away.
So obviously from my journey, I had that first-hand personal experience of the emotional support around cancer. There is all the IVs, the tablets, the drips, medical support is there. You will be looked after. But that emotional support, when you get home at night, you've done your treatment, when you are sat with your friends talking about, you know, anything and everything, or when you are in remission, where's that emotional support? I couldn't find it. And I looked. I looked on social medias, I looked on forums, I looked on all the websites I was told to look at. I didn't want that. And I think talking to people, I love it. Not everyone does.
It's true.
So what I had an idea in my head was creating a journal that was specifically for cancer. Whether you're going through it or you are someone supporting someone through cancer, it was for cancer. And it was actually, I spoke to my granddad about it and I said, I've got this idea. I think this would be really good. And he went and trademarked my name.
Oh, how amazing.
And he said, you've got to do it now. So you've got to. So I have produced, this is just the starting of this journey, but I have produced 5 different journals for each stage of the cancer journey. So from being diagnosed to remission, that is just where we're starting. But the plans for this is it's going to support so many different areas of that journey. Now, what I wanted these to feel like is a best friend holding your hand.
And they're beautiful cancer as well, really nice quality.
I wanted to make it that it was durable, it's antibacterial, you can wipe clean.
It's important for the hospitals.
It's something you can throw in your bag, you can take with you, you can keep it safe, you can look back on it. But I wanted this to feel like a friend, because I didn't have anyone my age saying, oh, this is what a chemo ward looks like, by the way. Oh, just so you know, you're actually going to have pre-meds and pre-med drugs before you have your drugs. And well, actually, when you're in remission, you feel guilty for every other person going through cancer. No one was telling me that stuff. So that's what I wanted this to be. So every single journey, be it from being diagnosed, going through chemotherapy, being in remission, every single one is information. It's mental health journal prompts. So they ask real specific questions of your cancer journey to get you thinking and get you navigating those emotions that you're sitting with. And it's tips and tricks, and
which you probably wouldn't find on the ward as well.
No, and I write letters to people in there and say, like, I understand, I know what you're going through. And I just wanted there to feel like they can put their head into this and just write all their emotions down or read something that's really going to help them. So it's made for everyone. I've done one for supporting a loved one through cancer. I've done one for a partner supporting someone through cancer as well. So there's lots of different elements, but the plan is to grow this into business that supports children, people in end of life, incurable, menopause and infertility, all these different factors of a cancer journey. It's going to be something that can help someone, hopefully.
Definitely. And it's like looking at it, it's got all the information and tips you need, but also it's everything in one place rather than being given like pamphlets from here or a leaflet from there. Everything's contained in one space so that somebody could really take some value from it. And that's what I really love about it.
When I was diagnosed, my support came in a brown envelope that was actually ripped and beaten up. I had a picture of it, which had about 5 different leaflets in. That was my support. There was no one else to hold my hand, no one to take that fear away, no one to say what you're feeling is normal. And I knew then that this can't be all we can offer.
No.
This can't be what is norm. And especially with my age range as well, I wanted something that wasn't so doom and gloom either. Now, cancer's not happy by any means.
It's nice to have something beautiful too.
Yeah, it is. There's something you're going through. You've got to go through it. I mean, I personally dislike the saying everything happens for a reason. I think that's quite hard for some people to hear, because you almost have that guilt of why then is it happening. I am a lover of fate, and I think I just had to take fate in my hands and think, this is the journey I'm going on. I can either go through it kicking and screaming, or I can get through it and use this to do something.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's what's important. So I still use my social media platforms to advocate for.
And what are they, if anybody wanted to check it?
So got Instagram is Holes Cancer Fight with _ if anyone wants to follow. So I use that, and I try raise awareness, being slightly younger with cancer, cervical cancer, being a mum with cancer, all those different elements that kind of build my foundation. That's still very important to me, and there's a lot I want to do with that. I want to support people around my age going through, and not make it feel like the support group, but a friendship group of people that are going through it. And I also have Instagram, Facebook and TikTok for Chemo & Co.
And that's where the journals will fall
which is where my journals are. So Chemo & Co as well. I didn't want it just... I could have released like a shop just for people to buy, but that's not what I wanted. So I've made a website, and the website has blogs on there. It has information. It has resources. I want it to be like a go-to place for mental health and cancer.
It sounds great.
Yeah, so it's very important to me.
So Chemo & Co.
Chemo & Co.
is the website.
Yeah.
And I was going to say thank you, Hollie, for sharing your story, because I think with cervical cancer, I see so many more people being diagnosed with it, but they just need to go and get checked, especially for someone young like yourself as well. We don't see that enough. So thank you for being open and honest and sharing that. No matter what age you are, you know, you can be impacted and affected, and take some action.
Yeah, absolutely. We are in control of ourselves, and like I said, don't think because you're young, fit, healthy, and you've got a very exciting life ahead of you that you're not going to be hit with a brick wall at some point. And I think that's so important, that people just have to have that awareness that it could happen. So let's just be eyes wide open and advocate for themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the See Through the Big C podcast. I hope you took a lot of value from the stories that is shared, and that it hopes to either educate, motivate or inspire you to take action. So thank you for listening.